Well, good afternoon, magandang hapon. This is starting to turn into a long video. We started in the morning. We talked a little bit about networking, and then we had the guests come over. So that is why we are doing part 2 here of today's video. And it was a great afternoon with some guests that we had that are coming in from Seattle, Washington, sharing their experience of coming over and making an attempt to retire here in the Philippines as well. And that's our couple that are coming over, plus we had one more, 2 plus 1. And our other one guest is one of our subscribers who is building a house in about 2 months, right down about 3 lots from ours right here. And his wife is here in the Philippines, and he will be coming, I think tomorrow he arrives here as well. We'll try to get him on one of the upcoming videos as well. The first part was a little bit long, part 1 of today's episodes. That's why we are doing a part 2, so we can kind of separate them if you want to breathe a little in between. Well, anyway, I hope you find today's episode interesting. I hope you find part 2 interesting. So let's go ahead and get part 2 started. So without further delay, let's get today's part 2 video underway. All right, well, we have our guests here today. We've been here for quite a long while. We started out with 3 of our guests. We're down to 2. One of our guests will be back. She had to actually go and go deliver some stuff to her son that's in school right now, and then she's going to come back a little bit. We just ordered some pizza from Pizza Hut, so we're going to have some lunch here in just a little bit. But what I want to do right now is I want to introduce our guests. And our guests are coming in from the U.S. who are now going to be staying here in the Philippines as well. And we're going to talk all about that in just a little bit as well. Lots of questions that even I have about their experience and why they're doing what they're doing. Well, anyway, let me introduce you first. We're going to introduce you to Andy and to Maricel over here.
Hi.
Now, these guys actually have their own vlog. They just started the vlog recently. They have some property here in the Philippines, right? You have some property. You have a couple of properties inside.
Yes.
And they're also going to be building pretty soon. Now, I made a mistake earlier. I thought that what I've been seeing pictures, Maricel has been posted. She's been doing this for a little while, and she's been sending messages out. And I thought the house that she had showed me was a house that she had already built. So I was mistaken. They're looking at houses for designs, correct?
Yes.
Right.
And what they're doing is looking at the different houses for designs. But we'll get into that in just a minute. Let me just ask you guys a couple of questions. Tell me a little bit about your history. You were in the U.S. for how long?
Oh, I'm retired Navy. So,
Retired Navy?
Yeah.
I'm just a housewife right now.
There's no such thing as, you know what? There is no such thing as just a housewife. That's a major job and an undertaking. That's like more important than our men jobs sometimes.
I'm just a cook at the house right now, but before, 5 years ago, I arrived in United States, and then after 5 years, I'm here back to Philippines and retired together with my husband.
So she's the CEO, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So 5 years you were back in the U.S. You were retired. 5 years back in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're back in the Philippines, and I have two questions based upon that experience right there. What was your experience like being in the U.S. as opposed to being to the Philippines, and why did you decide to relocate to the Philippines?
When I came to America, I was thought everything is amazing. I thought life there is gonna be much easier, but later on, after I worked every day, I get burnt out, I get tired. Everything there is available. What I love in there is, the health facilities is awesome. It's just right there. But the only thing about here in the Philippines, the difference is insurance is not catching up. It's like, they don't really, we already have insurance, like TRICARE from the military. And we haven't tried it here in the Philippines yet, but hoping that there's no issue. And then I like how the infrastructure in the United States, they're very well made. It's very clean, no trash, no brownout.
Well, it depends on what part of the U.S. that you live in.
Yeah,
Also,
but
yeah.
Washington we don't have.
Mostly, yes.
Yeah. And then after we moved here in the Philippines, we discovered a lot of brownouts and then a lot of trash everywhere. You see that? I mean, Philippines are improving.
Well, let's get back
Yeah.
to the first thing that you mentioned.
Yes.
When you went to the U.S., you thought everything was great, and then
Yes.
things started to get, let me say, stressful.
Yes.
Is that the way you feel? Can you kind of
Yes.
paraphrase this?
Yeah. So of course, when I just arrived there, my life is much easier. I don't have
Yeah.
much pressure.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just working.
Yeah.
It's just part time until it's like, well, our life in the United States is like it's just like it tells you to work to sustain your everyday living. And then that's the time that we had to move back to Seattle from Eastern Washington. And then at the end of the day, we ended up no time to each other because he had to work too, and I had to work as well. He worked night shift.
Work.
Yeah,
That's what always the
so
focus
that's
seems to
what
be.
happened.
Yeah.
It burned us out. It's like I feel like we're slave at work. Like we've been working like every day, and I have to work sometimes more than 10 hours because I'm in sales, and in the sales sometimes you don't have time. You just go and leave whenever you want, and that's the difference instead of doing the hourly. And I get tired of it, and then I said, you know what? I feel like I'm just working just to pay our bills. I know we still save money by working together, but still, if we're in the Philippines, I think with the little amount of money, I think we're fine.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry with too much bills. Not to pay much insurance here and there, because that's the thing I don't like in US. It's like every little thing you have to pay, every penny, like you just give it away. With our car insurance, health insurance, I mean,
Many and we find that as well. Your foreign earned income, your money, goes a lot longer, a lot further in the Philippines, with the exception of one thing that we've noticed, and it has to do with purchasing food.
yeah.
I know if you, and it depends on where you shop. If you shop in like the malls, like in SM or
Right.
Robinson in the supermarkets, or S&R or something like that, then a lot of times it costs more in the
Yeah.
Philippines. It does cost more
Right.
for the food. But an alternative that you have to that is if you go to like the wet market.
Yes.
The wet market, the prices are maybe half of what you pay inside. So you have to learn how to be frugal in the Philippines. But that is everything else that you hit on: insurance, hospitalization, entertainment
Yeah.
is much less over
Yeah.
here than it is. But anything that has to do with food, it seems like
Yeah.
food, especially going out to restaurants, it's comparable. It's about the
It's
same.
about the same.
It's about the
price.
same. About the same.
Yeah.
And
But the only difference when you're going to the restaurant is like here with your whole entire family, you can feed them for worth of $100
Yeah.
when you go to the restaurant. That you can't do that in the restaurant in United States.
oh, it depends on how big your family. $200 if you have like 8 or 10 people.
You can cater.
It'll be easily $200 at a
Because
restaurant. Yeah.
last time we went to Shakey's,
Yeah.
I only spent $100 for my 15 head. I treat them for our Advent's birthday party, and I said, "Wow, we pay $100 for that. If we're in the United States, I might end up paying $500."
Yeah.
Well, you're retired, right,
Yes.
Randy? So and I'm retired as well. Now, for you, your transition from the U.S., it's even being retired is stressful in the U.S., isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's why I'm having to work. I mean, it's like it's continuous. You always paying bills, paying things.
Taxes,
You gotta have
taxes, property, and the property taxes are
Yeah.
much more expensive in the U.S. than property taxes
Oh,
are
yeah.
over here. I mean, fractionally different for the Philippines than it is inside the U.S.
Yeah.
But and let me ask you this, and I have to ask you because Maricel is from here. She knows, and it's probably transparent to her. But you as an expat, you as a foreigner, when you go to like a grocery store or a department store or pretty much any place that somebody provides a service to you in the United States, when you go into these places, faces are kind of blank, and sometimes the faces that you meet, and I hate to say this, some people just there's no smiles, there's no happiness involved inside there. But my observation, no matter where you go in the Philippines, like us, we go to the plant nursery, we go to Pizza Hut, or we go to the grocery store, we go to a department store, we go to the hardware store, Wilcon or Ace Hardware, no matter, all you see is smiles.
Yeah, everyone.
Nice.
No matter what issues they have personally, they're always happy, and it's.
And that reduces stress.
I know.
Right.
Just that amount of a daily interaction, with the local folks around here, it reduces the amount of stress. I would tell you, and I told other people.
Is it based where you live in the Philippines?
Well, I don't know, because my experience is from Manila to Padangas City, in San Juan. That's the area, because we've been building, and most of my experience is shopping for building supplies, and when we're invited to some of our friends' homes and their friends and their relations, we get to see that. That's our interaction right now. We haven't expanded out. We haven't gone north of Manila. We haven't gone to Visayas or Mindanao. We haven't done that yet. We will be, and that'll be part of our adventures inside a lot of our upcoming episodes as we start doing more travel. As you know, we're still, if you watch, and I know you guys watch, because we're still doing finalized touches in here. We're just trying to get the last things, but we're at the point right now where we can start relaxing, right? We can actually start relaxing and start doing a little bit of this travel.
Yeah, in your mind.
Yeah.
Even while sleeping, thinking of what's gonna be the schedule for tomorrow.
Yeah. That's the thing with United States. You always have to think what to do tomorrow, and then here just wake up late. It's awesome.
Filipino time.
Yeah,
Almost always.
And that's kind of, and I think the adjustment, especially for Americans, I'll say, when you first come over to the Philippines, trying to adjust from the I got to get this done. I got to get this done. You're so intense on completing a task or anything like that, and then you come to this. It's a slower. Everything is much slower, and it's like you said, Filipino time is the term I think a lot of people use for that, and it takes a while to get to adjust to that. But once you've adjusted to that, your blood pressure goes down, and you feel more relaxed, and it's a healthier. I think it's a healthier lifestyle. So you're in the Philippines now. Tell us about your plans.
Of course, we're planning to stay here in the Philippines for good, and currently we're looking for the right contractor. So we've been checking already, like few of them, just to see the workmanship. And so that my husband can choose who is the right guy.
When are you planning on doing your build?
Maybe after the raining season.
After this next rainy season, or
It's
this
like-
rain? So
Yeah.
so you're
So
talking
it'll be
about
like
maybe around
November.
January.
Before end of the year.
Well, and that's typically January is typically after, because you got rainy season. Then almost after rainy season, you have the bear month. You all have all these bear months.
Yeah.
And then you're so close to December, everybody starts going in relaxed mode because of the Christmas holiday.
Right.
Typically, and what I've always advised folks who are building, typically January, like the second week in January to the second or third week in January, to start doing your break ground, because that gives you enough time. You have 5 to 6 months to break ground and get a roof. Once you get your roof over
I can move in.
But that gives your crew enough time on a rainy day, during rainy season. They can work inside, and you don't lose those work days. And we were lucky. We were really lucky when we did this build here. We had very few rain loss days. I would probably say total cancellation was maybe about 3 days.
Oh, that's
Did
good.
you start January?
We started February. We started in
Because we
February.
were thinking November, because November is when it's cooler. So for the
Mm-mm.
workers,
Mm-mm.
it's actually really good because it's not hot.
Mm-mm.
That's the
But I think they have Christmas holidays.
And they'll have a
The
Christmas
holiday.
holiday, so
Yeah.
they'll be gone.
So
You won't
they'll be
see them
gone.
for like 2 or 3 weeks.
It's just like right now.
Yeah.
Our first contractor that we visited, he said his guys don't work for the month of August because what did he say?
they have like a superstitious
Mhm.
that August is like a poor month, something like that.
Yeah, that's something else about the Philippines.
Yeah.
Superstitions.
Yeah.
Like Europe.
Yeah, so the whole month of August, all of his
Pag-hirap.
projects are not being worked on.
It's part of their
They
belief.
must work because it's taghirap.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were trying to aim that, hoping we'll meet the good
Oh.
contractor before November, so at least we can start getting permit and everything.
Pizza.
Oh, Pizza Hut! Pizza
Yay!
Hut. Okay, well, we're going to break right now. We're going to continue this because there's some more topics that I want to talk about in just a little bit. So we're going to get our pizza and then we will get back in just a minute. All right. Well, anyway, here we are. We are eating our Pizza Hut. So I thought a great idea would be to kind of combine, like I said, two birds. I told these guys, 2 birds with 1 stone. While we're eating, we can also discuss some of the additional topics. And by the way, this is Fem. Fem has joined us here.
Hi.
Fem is
Yeah.
That one.
Fem is she's the Sawa of Ainsley. Ainsley and Fem, they are building. They bought a lot on this block. As a matter of fact, I helped these two pick out a very special lot on this block right here, and it's about 3 lots down from us right here. And they're going to be building, I think, in October is about around the target, the goal to start building around October, which is good. Like we were talking about early, you want to do it. It's like the end of rainy season, towards the end of rainy season. They can get a little bit in before the Christmas holiday, and then January is really one of the best times. They'll be able to get the roof on the house, and once it does start raining again, hopefully, I don't know what the target goal of how many months it's supposed to be for you. Did they tell you?
8 months.
About 8 months?
Yeah, 8
Ah,
months.
so yeah, so you'll be almost near the end, towards the conclusion, if you meet that goal, and
Yeah.
you'll have the roof on, and if it rains, no problem. So anyway, let's continue. Let's continue with you guys. We were talking about coming back and your long-term goals over here. You said that you're going to be building, and you were looking for contractors,
Right.
and
We're in search for contractor.
you're in search for a contractor right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
gotta find that right one. You know, and that's gonna make us happy with a happy price, with a happy quality of craftsmanship on the houses and stuff. So
It's gonna be challenging for
Mhm.
us with a good workmanship, with a great, great package.
Well, there are plenty of really good architects and plenty of really good builders in the Philippines.
That doesn't charge much.
Yeah. I will tell you though, building in the Philippines, building a house, the cost involved are much less than if you were to build inside the United States.
oh yeah,
And it mainly has to do with saving money on labor. The labor costs are very reasonable inside the Philippines. Now, materials are comparable to the pricing that you have if you bought plumbing hardware, even Portland cement mix, all the stuff that you use for building. A concrete hollow block is probably less expensive over here, but the stuff that you fill inside and the rebar is pretty much comparable. Appliances, when you start doing appliances inside your house, they might be a little bit more expensive because most of the stuff is imported in. Anything that comes into the Philippines from outside, there always seems to be a premium, like a VAT, a value-added tax that's added onto it, or customs that elevates the price of these things. But where you save is the labor.
Yeah.
So if you were to expect to build a house, we'll say in the U.S., we'll just use a big round number like $100,000. A $100,000 house in the U.S. may cost you $30,000 to build inside the Philippines. it's so almost like a fraction of the cost. Between 2/3 or even more, you can get a discount for building in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's the thing here. You cannot save on materials, but the labor is the great deal in here.
But make sure that again, oversight. The most important thing is oversight.
Yeah, that's like we're 2 blocks away from where our property is, so I'm gonna be there every day, and I'm gonna remember and looking over your old videos, on building and construction. I've learned a lot from everything that you showed, all your little experiences.
Good. Well, I'm hoping all of our mistakes, people, we can share that, and they won't make the same mistakes that we made.
Yeah.
I know Ainsley's been on top of this
Yeah.
a lot, looking at all these, and because I get questions from him all the times and recommendations about. As a matter of fact, he asked me to help him along with doing some of the smart features, because you guys are doing a smart home.
Yes, yeah.
So he asked for a lot of advice and things on that. And those are the things I like doing, the techie type stuff.
Yeah.
And so I talked with him and the guys you are contracting have to do it with as well. So I'll help with that. Something else I wanted to ask you about, which everybody asks about, and it has to do with immigrating, moving to the Philippines, getting some type of resident visa. Now, you guys know we did the SRRV because Ness was Balikbayan. That was her status.
Right.
She was a naturalized U.S. citizen, which qualified her for Balikbayan, which gave us the opportunity to use the SRRV. Now, the SRRV is not just for Balikbayan status. Anybody can come back in. Any foreigner can come into the Philippines under the SRRV. Depends on what category they are, how much money it would cost to be able to become a resident in the Philippines. But you guys, you chose the 13A.
Right.
Can you talk about the 13A a little bit? Maybe some of the challenges. Also, why did you choose the 13A? What is your status, by the way?
I am dual citizen.
You're dual citizen.
And I have some fault about that. When we arrived here in the United States, I have U.S. passport. So I just want to tell you a story what happened in the airport that I forgot to do. So I just wanted to let everybody know that when you guys are dual citizen and you have a U.S. passport, make sure you bring your dual identification certificate and the oath of allegiance at the same time when you pass the immigration officer. Because if you don't, it will happen. What happened? Okay.
They gave you a Balikbayan.
Yeah, so
stamp.
what happened to me is because I am not aware that I really had to hand it out with them. So I got the same stamp of what my husband got. So I got 1 year Balikbayan visa as well, instead of having no expiration because I am dual citizen already.
Filipino.
So you guys make sure if you're dual citizen, show your dual citizen certificate.
Can't you have a Filipino passport and that's the one you're gonna show?
I forgot to show my Philippine passport because they said they are not valid anymore when you converted to a U.S. citizen.
Oh, really?
Yes, you have to
Yeah.
apply.
For your entry.
That's what the
Yes,
Philippine the consulate in Canada told us.
Wow.
Or maybe you can try to show your old passport before you get naturalized. But they're saying that it's not valid anymore once you convert to U.S. citizen.
But if you are dual, then you are a Filipino citizen. Then you
can apply another one.
You
You cannot use your old one before
Oh,
you
you
get
have an
citizen.
older one.
So I need to apply
for
a new
new
passport. Yeah.
Philippine passport.
because
Okay.
the other one is like when I am fully Filipino.
Oh,
So it was kind
okay.
of sucks that I
That's
didn't
right.
know that
Okay.
I'm obligated to show it to the officer. So,
Oh.
but anyway, what's your question?
Mine,
This
for
is for
13A.
Andy. This is actually for Andy.
Oh,
It had to do with the 13A,
Yeah.
the visa.
It's still the same. It's all through like different organizations through BI still.
The Bureau of Immigration. So,
Right.
yeah.
It's
So tell me about your experience. Tell me about your experience and what steps you went through and what challenges. Because you said you had some challenges.
Yeah. So before we still have a little bit of time before we do the 13A visa because there's a time limit on it. It's 6 months before I can do it. That's the back door of the system. Because if I didn't do it in the United States, which I started late trying to do it in the United States, the background check through the FBI was going to take 9 months to a year. Well, I didn't check until it was too
What
late.
state is that?
It was through Washington State, but you still have to send it into the FBI to get your whole rap sheet and everything. So
wow, it takes that long. Because we went through, for ours, we had to do our background investigation. We went through the state, South Carolina, through the state law enforcement division, SLED. And it was maybe 1 week. I think,
Less than a month.
yeah, well, no, I think it took about 1 week. We sent it out, and then it came back. It was a little over a week. Then we had to send it again because we had to have it.
We have to
what is it? Notarized, authenticated. Oh, we had to send it to the Philippine Embassy for authentication, and that took about 1 week. So I think the whole process was around. It was less than a month. I think more like about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
it's quick. Yeah.
So we inquired to the wrong.
I don't know if we were doing it wrong or whatnot, but
Well, you went through a different process. You're going through the Bureau of Immigration for 13A. We went through the SRRB, and it also might have to do with your state as well.
Yeah.
It was very easy for us to get our background investigation. We went online and we checked. Said send it to SLED. They have a division that's set up just for that, for background investigation.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if they told you, but you can have your investigation done inside the Philippines also.
Yeah, the NBI.
that's actually that's what we're gonna do. So
Yeah.
we're already just started looking on
We did that
researching
too,
that.
right?
We have
No,
to
we
go
didn't.
to.
we didn't.
No, because we did the SLED, and
The
that
SLED,
fulfilled
okay.
it. If you don't come into the country with your authenticated investigation, then you can do it inside, and they go over something. It's like Interpol kind of a thing that they do.
Yeah.
And I don't think it takes that long either. I think it's only a couple of weeks.
Theirs is really quick.
I think it's really quick. They go and they hit the international to see if you're a bad guy out there, you've done anything wrong in your past, and then it comes back quick because we ran into people in the Philippine Retirement Authority, the PRA in Manila, who forgot to bring the background investigation, and the people at the PRA said, "No problem, we can close it. We can do it here. We can do it through."
Kasi matagal pa
Right.
tayo.
I think we
Because I'm struggling also with getting my ACR card because I'm on buying visa right now. It's
For one year.
Yeah, it's special because it doesn't run out. So I was trying to get it so we can open a banking account, get my driver's license because it's all required for that. And Batangas BI won't do it. You have to go to Manila to do it because you have to do a voluntary ACRI card, which requires different things. I have to write a letter to the commissioner of the Bureau of Immigrations to the reason why that I need a ACRI card because I don't need it for a whole entire year. The lady's like, "Oh, you don't need it. Don't worry about it." Well, I need to be able to drive after 90 days because it expires in 90 days.
So if you had had a little bit more clarity at the very beginning, it would have saved you problems all the way through. It would have been a little bit less of paperwork shuffle.
Same thing of mine because I have to go to Bureau of Immigration in Manila to correct my stamp. So when he do his ACR card application, I have to go to their officer and change the stamp of my passport to be no expiration. So it's a lot of work.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
I gotta tell you, I think it's making me more happy that we did the SRB.
We were only concerned for 1 month and then it's all done.
It's about a 30-day
Yeah.
process. They tell you it takes about 30 days, and the reason it takes 30 days, they collect all the data that they need. When you come into the country, if you come in with the things that you need, like the background investigation, like all of your marriage certificates that have been notarized and authenticated, when you bring that stuff inside, you present that. They have a checklist at the PRA up at the Citicorp building in Manila. I think it's in Makati, right? Makati. And what they do is they do checklists and they tell you which items you don't have. Right? This is what you need to do to complete it. Which one of them is the physical?
Right.
You can do a physical in the U.S., but they recommend you do it there. And what they do, right from the office, you go right from their office. You catch a taxi. They take you to one of the buildings,
They make
one of the little
everything
clinics.
very easy for
Very
you.
easy.
Wow.
You go
Rather
right
than
there.
the ACR, which makes everything
And
more difficult.
They do your physical. They take your blood. They take everything, and it takes about 2 days for the results to come in. They have it, then they check off those blocks. You're
Because
done on that.
it's a perspective in the immigration.
Right.
You are taken as immigrants, while in the SRRV you are taken as retirees. So it's a different perspective. They are more.
So where's the
protected.
office PR?
It's in the city court building, in Makati, and what's in that Paso de what's the name?
Paseo de
Rojas.
Rojas. It's right there, and they have extensions. But for the people who are watching this today, if you're in Luzon, then you would go to Manila, and they have. I think Cebu has a satellite office, and down in Mindanao, not Davao, in Davao in Mindanao, they have also satellite offices. But what I was saying is that you pretty much can expect to have everything closed out in 30 days. Now, if you arrive in this country, if you're not married to a Filipino who's a Balikbayan, if you arrive into the country and you're just a foreigner who wants to move to the Philippines and become a resident here, the process is you go through the same process that we went through up there as well. And
You have to pay.
yeah, there's different qualifications that you pay for. There's different SRRVs.
It's how much you put
How
in
old
each
you-
bank account.
how old you are, and things like that for the
And for
qualifications.
That was
But
one-
the 30 days, it's still the same estimate for about 30. It only takes about 30 days. Now, when you come as a foreigner, an expat into the country, you're automatically given a tourist visa. That's what you come in, and that's good for 30 days.
Right.
Now, if it looks like, say, like you come in, like for us, we came in at Christmas time. So it took us just shortly after 30 days for that, but we came in under Balikbayan, which is 1 year. We have 1 year status. So, but if you're not, even if you come into the country during a holiday and it looks like it's going to be extended, take a little bit longer because those government offices are closed, what they will do, the PRA will assist you with getting an extension on your visa so that you can
Yeah.
complete everything.
They are-
So it works real nice. I
like-
have to, there's a lot of
Like
really
they
good things
are-
about the
They
SRV.
accommodate you.
Right.
Because you are seen as a different, apart from the immigrant,
Right.
or retiree.
So you're gonna have to, as you go through this, because you're still in the process of doing this.
Right.
So since you guys are residents here, you're not that far from us here. We'll get some updates later, and we'll do some updates on your status as far as how this is all working out for you.
Yeah.
All right, well, so we are done with our lunch, and we've been sitting around. We did a tour part of the house here. Not like we really need to do a tour, because you guys have been videoed through this house dozens of times. And we're going to do, internally here, we're going to do a couple of shout-outs today. Actually, we're going to call it 3 shout-outs today, and it's kind of a combo. We're going to multitask.
Okay.
Right, we're going to multitask. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of birthday shout-outs, and we're going to do a shout-out for a vlog. And we're going to start out with the birthday shouts because that's the most special thing. Anyway, today is Annie's birthday.
Happy birthday!
Andy's birthday.
But not only is today Annie's birthday, tomorrow is Marcel's birthday. It's not your birthday, is it?
Next month.
Oh, next month. Okay, we'll celebrate yours next month. Well, anyway, the 2 guys are celebrating, and are you guys doing anything special for your birthdays?
We did last week.
Last week. Oh, you did
Our
ahead.
anniversary is July 31, so we're all good.
You got all around the same period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my niece gave birth today, the same birthday of my husband.
Oh, sweet. All right, nice. So we got that. That's our birthday shout-outs for today. And the next thing is we're going to promote these guys. These guys, they have a vlog. Remember I said at the very beginning, or I said when our guests were coming today, they also do vlogging. So anyway, Maricel and Andy here, they have a vlog that I think you just started just recently,
Yes.
not that long ago. And it's called Retired and Happy in Philippines. Did I get it right? I got it right?
Yes.
So if you get a chance to stop by their site, and Maricel, you don't talk a lot on there. I see you don't really do a lot of that. Maricel is the James, I think, of the of the channel, and she does a lot of talking. She has a lot of helpful hints. What we talked about today at the dining table had to do with visa, and I saw on her channel she also talks a little bit about the 13A visa And there are other interesting things I have to do about building and about moving to the Philippines. So if you get a chance, also take a look at their video as well. Again, I want to thank everybody today. I want to thank Fem. Ainsley, thanks for sending her over here. And thanks for becoming our neighbor here. Our neighbor here really soon. Look at that face. And I want to thank both of you guys for coming here and visiting us today. It's been a long time coming since we've done this, but we're starting to pick back up again. On Monday, we also have an interview with one of our subscribers that's coming in from. It's in Canada. We're part of Canada. I think he said Ontario, and he made a little joke that says a suburb of Toronto or something like that. So we have a guest coming, and Gerard is his name. So he will be coming to visit us, and we'll do another sit-down interview with him if he makes it here on Monday, and I'm pretty sure he's going to make it here on Monday. All right, guys, thank you so very much for coming and visiting us today.
Thank you.
And I look forward to looking at more of you guys' videos as well. And good luck. And you're basically neighbors to us as well. So you're welcome anytime to come over and keep us updated on all of your advancements with your build here in the Philippines.
Exciting.
With your retired and happy in Philippines.
Okay,
well, now it is time to close out both part 1 and part 2 of today's episode. First part, again, with networking. Part 2 is with our visit from Maricel, Andy, and Fem. A great visit today with some great tips and probably things that were shared today. Even I didn't know some of the things that they shared with us about their experience with getting their visas and things like that here in the Philippines that I found enlightening. And I thank those guys for coming and visiting and sharing those experiences with us as well. So I didn't know what's up for tomorrow. I think tomorrow, I told them, I was planning on get some of those seeds. We have some seeds, and I want to put some vegetables inside the raised bed garden.
Wow.
And there's some other things. There's all kind of things that we have to do around here.
You have seeds from previous balikbayan.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, well, yeah, we bought some seeds to do some vegetable. They're vegetables. I'm hoping to things like okra, tomatoes. We went over our friend's house just the other day. Yesterday. Les and Juliet. We went out, and they live here in the subdivision as well. And I saw Juliet's garden. She has got this raised bed garden, and she's got all these great plants that she started ahead of time while we went on vacation. She got ahead of us, so we want to go ahead and get some kind of replicate some of the stuff that she's doing. Okra. She had okra and tomatoes and string beans. And those are 3 things we want inside our garden as well. So we will do that maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure what else. Tomorrow we might, I hope, I got to check on the stats, we might get a balikbayan shipment in as well.
Wow.
And I think that has to do with
Is it mine?
No, I think this one is mine, and I think it has to do with the Kaiser foam that I'm going to be using for the toolbox. Remember I talked about when I was in the U.S., the foam to do the inserts and the cutouts for all the tools inside that neat toolbox that we got before we left the Philippines that we got up in Manila. Plus, who else knows? Every day is something new. I do things that I didn't expect to do. I don't do things that I was expecting to do. Who knows? Well, if you enjoyed today's videos, please give us a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed, and you'll be notified the next time we upload a new video. So until such time, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right, and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.